So God comes to us as a still small voice. But do you know that the enemy can come to us as that same voice? He tries to mimic God. And so, God does something well and he perverts it. He will try to use whatever sort of voice on you that will work. And so you might be to the point where, something crazy comes into your mind and you think, that's not God, that's not me, I know that's the enemy. And you can easily take that thought captive and cast it down. But then the enemy will start to see how he can hook you. And he did the exact same thing to Adam and Eve in Genesis 3, where he just started with a question, just to get more information, to feel her out and see what she will say. So he says, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Oh, just, I don't know. I don't know, can you? I'm just clarifying. I'm just wanting to know more information because I think that, I don't know, it doesn't really sound right to me, but what's your take on it? Right? And so he's just seeing how she's gonna react to that. And Eve says to the serpent, to the devil, which she doesn't know that that's him, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat, nor shall you touch, because you'll die. And that was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so the serpent then, comes on a bit stronger, saying, well, you surely should not die, right? That seems absurd. Are you really? I don't think you're gonna die, are you? Right? Come on. And now he gives them a half truth. So he tells them what's going to happen, but not the full consequence of their actions. So he says, for God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So here is, it's just deception at its finest. It's it's sin where, you are contemplating whether to do something or not. And the enemy is luring you into sin because it looks good to you. Even though once you're finished with it, once your eyes are open, it's not good at all, but it gives the illusion that it is. Because, to Eve, it's like, my eyes will be open, and then I'm going to have more knowledge, and then I'm going to be more like God. And how can that be a bad thing? Okay, well, she's totally forgotten about God now and what he's told her and how he has warned them. And so this is not going in the right direction, right? So now she is looking at the tree and seeing that the food looks really good. Before, not so much, but now, after the enemy kind of wiggled his way in there and planted some things in her mind, well, now she's seeing this tree of the knowledge of good and evil tree as something desirable, and it is now pleasant to her eyes. And so she eats it and she gives some to her husband. And you can't tell me that Adam had no idea what was going on and he just took the fruit. I believe that the word proves that he knew exactly what was going on because he just willingly took the fruit and ate it. So he didn't ask any questions or anything here. That means that he had to have been listening. And I don't think this was the first time the serpent came into the garden. I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming not, because he just struck up a conversation with Eve. So to me, that seems like they knew each other. It was the start of showing us now here that the first humans on earth could not stay obedient to God. He told them something, they disobeyed. And so it is a running theme throughout the Bible. If you look at your own life, look at other people's lives, it's a running theme that it's kids come out of the womb saying no. You tell them something and they want to do the opposite of it. There's a rebellion in us, and from this story we are damned to hell. But God, in his mercy and his love, thought they can't do it on their own. And so I am going to go down onto the earth in flesh, which is Jesus Christ, and take their place. He came to earth to save people from hell, to give them eternal life. That's the love story. That on our left to our own devices, we wouldn't be in good shape. But because of the crucifixion and resurrection, we now have eternal life when we confess that Jesus is Lord and that the Father raised him from the dead. Then I shall be saved and you shall be saved.